The world today revolves around technological advancements which make living in the 21st century much less complicated. From electric wires and cables and non-ferrous metals, the future promises a time where a mutiny of technical innovation will surge, responding to the mature multimedia-oriented and advanced information-oriented society. The future begins. And so the name, the Furukawa Electric Company. Furukawa has been continuously developing cutting-edge technologies to meet the demands of the modern times with the use of optical fibers. Optical fiber is widely used in diverse industries to meet the demands of today. It is therefore fortunate that technological improvements have given us optical fiber composite ground wire, known technically as OPGW. OPGW is a modern grounding system for high-voltage power transmission line and a source of efficient telecommunication network system which ensures high-speed and high-quality information transmission. One of the specialties of Furukawa is the OPGW live overhead transmission line installation. It is Furukawa's breakthrough in the modern technology as it offers solution to the burden of giving outages in modernizing and upgrading substations for a more efficient electrical power supply. Interconnecting the substations with OPGW through existing transmission lines would link different places with fiber optic, and it could serve as provision for commercial leasing for companies at business potential for the facility of internet, telephone lines, and other telecommunication services. With this breakthrough, connecting to remote locations will be made easy for multinational companies. To replace the existing grounding system with OPGW in a conventional OPGW live line installation method requires an outage or power shutdown to the affected area, which adversely affect consumers, including power suppliers, in terms of revenue and convenience. However, in Furukawa's new technology, OPGW installation can be done in a live line condition on both circuit without jeopardizing the safety of the crew, as well as the existing power transmission line. Therefore, this method guarantees uninterrupted power supply. The main concept of Furukawa's live line installation is to apply the low-tension stringing method, which can be achieved by reducing the span length between the roller support. Hanging pulley blocks are hanged to the existing ground wire with an adequate interval. As a result, the sag is easily controlled to obtain a sufficient clearance from the conductor. The controlling tension will be very low, ranging from 70 to 100 kilograms. Therefore, the use of heavy equipment such as big tensioner and big puller are not required. Now, the actual procedure of the Furukawa OPGW live line installation method. OPGW live line installation requires few special tools: traction machine, hanging pulley block, insulated ropes, and braking machines. The OPGW live line installation starts by installing pulley block to the cross arm of existing towers. Then the traction machine, which is a compact and light piece of equipment that has been specially made for easy handling, is mounted onto the existing ground wire. Two ropes are attached to the traction machine. One is used to set the hanging pulley blocks on the existing ground wire. The other, which is made of insulated material, will be used to pull the OPGW. Once the traction machine has been secured, it is time to fix the hanging pulley blocks onto the existing ground wire. During installation, however, care must be taken to avoid contact between the rope and the conductors. The tension on the rope is maintained for minimum electrical clearance from the live conductor throughout the entire procedure. The hanging pulley blocks are then released by hand at an adequate interval. Markings are on the rope to indicate the distance between the hanging pulley blocks. Once the traction machine reaches the next tower, it is quickly transferred onto the next span, and the entire process is repeated. This same process is repeated for the entire drum section. All hanging pulley blocks are now placed at adequate interval throughout the entire drum section. Once the traction machine reaches the end of the section, the insulated rope is fixed to a winch or drum winder. At the other end, a stringing clamp is fixed to the OPGW and connected to the insulated rope. A winch or drum winder is used to pull the insulated rope from the bottom to the inside of the tower structure. The OPGW, which is being towed by the insulated rope, is then threaded to the hanging pulley blocks and pulled all the way to the end. This method is called low-tension stringing. The approximate OPGW pulling tension is 70 kilograms to 100 kilograms. Once the OPGW reaches the final tower in that drum section, it is anchored to the end tower with come-along and lever block. The existing ground wire at intermediate towers is then shifted by transferring its support from suspension or tension clamp to the pulley blocks. Likewise, the existing ground wire at both end towers is then re-anchored with come-along and lever block. The tension of the lever block on the OPGW is then increased until the sag of the OPGW reaches the same level with the existing ground wire. Then the tension of the lever block on the existing ground wire is decreased, forcing it to slack slowly. As this happens, the hanging pulley blocks through the wire, which are still threaded, will invert. A tail rope, which is similar to the insulated rope, with an equivalent length of 1.5 span, is connected to the last end of existing ground wire. The come-along and the lever block are attached to the OPGW in every intermediate tower to ensure that the dismantling is secure. The existing ground wire is then pulled out towards a reverse direction using a winch or reel winder. When the end of the tail rope reaches the OPGW, a braking machine is fixed onto the OPGW, and the tail ropes as well as the setting rope are attached to the braking machine. The pulling out of the existing ground wire continues, and for every span that the braking machine will pass, the setting rope and the hanging pulley blocks are dismantled. Furukawa's live line OPGW replacement method offers a distinctive bondage in the form of uninterrupted power supply to the end user. Furukawa's live line OPGW installation method is known for its reliability, low cost, and high performance with an available voltage of 66 kilovolt up to a high voltage of 500 kilovolt overhead transmission line. OPGW live line installation, cutting-edge breakthrough in electricity, guaranteeing uninterrupted power supply and maximum cost savings without compromising safety of human life and integrity of the existing live transmission line. Only from the Furukawa Electric Company Limited, seeing the world in the most advanced of perspective, through creating the most advanced of technology.